We are live. We are live. ¿Tú listo?
No.
No. Hi everyone, this is Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wind Down Wednesday, Wednesday night lives here at Casa Elm Boutique Guest House in San Miguel de Allende, located in central Mexico. I help people who are interested in relocating to this part of Mexico. Check out our programs at casaelm.com. We do relocation tours. We provide authentic Mexican experiences and excursions. We are really considered the soft landing in Mexico. So if you're interested in coming to this part of Mexico, which is way up in the mountains, we are not on the beach. Feel free to reach out to me. Also, please just drop a note in the chat to let me know that you can hear us. And tonight I have the absolute pleasure again of talking to my not so little person. Yes, he's definitely kind of on the fence about this interview, but I get it. You know, this is like a whole on camera. I told him to just act like we're having a conversation, right? Welcome, Dixie. Hi, how are you? You know Dixie.
Yes.
And you know Diane. Hi, Diane.
Yes.
Good, excellent. We're loud and clear. You heard that?
Yeah.
Or you saw that? All right, tonight we're using our mics, so I just wanted to make sure that the connection was good. So I'm really excited to catch up on my channel with Micah again. I spoke to him about 2 years ago, right? Just when after he turned 10. He has a birthday coming up. You ready for your birthday?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. He has a birthday coming up. I cannot believe he's going to be, how old?
12.
12 años. Oh. We got to this part of Mexico. We came to Mexico when he was 6. So it's been a very cool 6 years. Definitely one of the best decisions. I mean, there are some things, you know, if we keep it real, that he misses about Florida. But for the most part, I do feel that our lives have been more enhanced making this decision to move to central Mexico. So I wanted to just get on and talk more about some of those experiences. You know, we're just going to chat. You know, the previous interview we did was pre-recorded. So this is all live, and you're just going to talk about his life, and you're going to talk about your life, and I'll jump in, I'll ask questions, and if you have questions, please feel free. I hope that parents who are interested in bringing their children to Mexico, they can see this point of view and perspective through his eyes as well. What I noticed recently, especially in San Miguel, is there are more families that are interested in coming here. More people are showing up with their children. And I just really think it's amazing. I call it changing the trajectory in terms of lifestyle, future, and things like that, being able to learn another language, another culture, another tradition. And yes, he's wearing the little mic sponge, just in case you were wondering what that little red thing was. You know, I have a kid. So thank you all for joining us. I'll let you introduce yourself. Feel free to do so in either language. Yes, show them what you know.
My name is Micah, and I'm about to turn 12 years old, and we live in San Miguel.
Mhm. How do you like living in San Miguel? Oh,
I like it a lot. There's a lot of fun things to do, and I've made a lot of nice friends.
yeah.
Yes.
How do you feel about the differences? I want to say welcome to Marion. Thank you for being here. She's listening with her 5-year-old. How exciting is that?
Excited.
Yeah. All right. You ready to be more inspiring for other parents and kiddos? The pressure is on. All right. Tell me what you feel like the differences have been moving from Florida to Mexico.
Um, that it got a lot colder.
True.
Um, the city is a lot smaller,
Hmm.
and that I like how it's set up and how there's a, and like how there's more. mm,
More what?
There's like more old things rather than everything being new,
Mm.
and that they're just always adding new things, but they're kind of trying to keep it like old.
You mean like the rustic look of
Yeah,
San
the
Miguel?
rustic look of
Yeah.
San Miguel.
Okay. So, although there are lots of cool things in Florida, right? Like before we left, where did we go to Legoland?
Yeah.
We went a lot to Orlando just to hang out, right? Never made it to Disney, but I feel that the differences, at least for me from an entertainment standpoint, is that there are a lot of kid things to do here too, right? There's a lot of kid things to do in Florida. There's also like the beach,
Yes.
which I know you like the beach a lot, right?
Yeah.
But the city here, like he said, it's very rustic. It really has and the look and feel with a lot of history. So I think we can appreciate that in terms of how artistic it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what you feel in regard to your school experiences. We can go way back on that. We
Oh
can go back
no.
to a little bit to first grade. I'll have a drink while you think about it.
Why? I don't want to do.
You don't want to talk about school?
No.
Why? First grade? So I'll tell you about first grade. It's not a big deal. So
It is.
not really. So first grade was the first year that we were here, and I think that it was a little bit more challenging.
Chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic. It was a little bit more challenging because he didn't know the language. We were new here, and I think I jumped in from a very like kind of American standpoint where we wanted to have everything kind of lined up just right. I remember I had like transcripts, letters of recommendations, and things like this. But at the end of the day, what I realized, like going into it, and this is from a parent's standpoint, was it wasn't really a big deal for things to line up perfectly. And it was okay to change the situation to be more suitable for him, right? I felt that initially I was just kind of like so concerned about the academics, but it was first grade. Not that that's not important in terms of the academics overall, but I think it's really important when you're moving to a new country with kids and they don't speak the language is to make sure that they are okay, right? Check their temperature, make sure they're having fun, they're not resenting the move, because we're so, as parents, so gun ho, and we have like this whole plan in our mind about, oh, my kid's gonna learn, Spanish, and they're gonna do these grand things. It's like also check their temperature. I remember some of the parents when I moved him around. I'll talk a little bit more about that. They really were kind of like, oh, let him stay in the same place and let him figure it out. And I was like, no, because he's not happy there. So I thought it was more important to make sure that he was also enjoying this very huge change, right?
Yeah.
So what was your final take in first grade, where you ended up? You loved it.
Uh, I was in Atabal, right?
No, you were in Papalotes.
Oh yeah.
You remember that school?
Yeah.
What did you do there?
Fun things.
Like what?
We went rock hunting. We made pizza. We had competitions. We played hide and seek and a lot of stuff like that.
You chase chickens?
I didn't. The others did.
So, hey Dee, welcome. How are you? Brown Girls Invest too. Thanks for being here. We got to that school in first grade. It was the third school in one school year. I've told this story before, but I'm going to reiterate it a little bit. So when I first arrived, well, even prior to coming, I did a research trip, which was just about schools. And I interviewed schools because, I was just, that's what we do. And I said, okay, Academia International is going to be it because it was bilingual. I just like the staff a lot. That's also important to make sure that the kids' well-being or your child's well-being is more important than just get the work done, learn the language, especially for younger children. I think that, and even older children, I think it's actually probably a little tougher for someone that's Micah's age, where he is now and up, because you're taking them away from a very familiar environment, most likely, and bringing them into an unfamiliar environment. And I think it's important to make sure that they're having fun, right? So one of the things that I realized when we got to the first school was it was just me trying to set it up, right? Set up the whole structure of this experience, and I want him to learn the language and all that. And then for the second school, because the first one didn't work out, and this was all in first grade now, right? So this is 2018 to 2019 school year. And we stayed at Academia for how long? Just a few months, right?
Uh, about 1 month.
It was probably about 1 month. After I paid for the materials and uniforms and all of that, right? Anyway, the point is that afterwards, we moved to Newland, which was a whole new campus, and that's called NWL. They were new to San Miguel, but not new to Mexico. They had campuses in other cities.
Yeah.
The campus was really nice. I love that they were more of like a technology school. They did a lot of their work on iPads, and I knew that he loved being on his iPad and things. So I think I was making the association that he's going to be more engaged with that school. And what happened?
They lied to they lied to you even though I was telling the truth.
Yeah, so he got put on blast about an incident that came up in the school. And so it's important as well to listen to our kiddos. What?
And one of my friends there, he knew the truth since I just made him as one of my friends. His name's Oliver.
Okay.
And my mom asked his mom about the incident, and what I said was also what my friend's mom said. So then she knew that I was telling the truth
Right.
and that they were lying.
Right. So I'll give you the more of the insight.
Hi, Dad.
I'll give you more of the insight. So basically, something came up. Kids always have little tiffs and things like that. So that's not uncommon for them to have a tiff. But the struggle with the school is that the adults weren't telling the truth about the incident because he didn't speak Spanish very well to be able to explain himself. So he kind of had left the classroom, and he told me this whole like kind of what happened, and it was so elaborate in terms of the story that I knew he was telling me the truth because there were like little details, and I was like, ah. So I did like kind of confirm it with one of my friends, his friend's mom, and we decided that this wasn't also a good fit for him as well. And I also then realized that we were under a lot of stress and anxiety, or at least I felt that way, which was to perform, to be good, to fit in, and all these things. And I realized that that wasn't very important at that time, that what was more important was for him to really and truly feel like he was a part of this decision to move to Mexico, and that he also would remember it as something more positive. So that's really the key thing that I want to share, is that when you bring your children, yes, academics at certain grades and levels, that it's important, but it's also really important to stay in tune with your children, to stay in tune with how they feel. I just didn't want him to look back and be like, you know what, I really didn't like that experience that I had when I first got to Mexico. And I remember we were driving to Newland, right, one morning, and I literally just looked at him and I said, you know what, we're going to quit this and we're not going to worry about anything. I want you to have fun. And that's when we made a decision to go to yet a third school. I know it sounds a little crazy, but like I said, sometimes you have to be willing to be flexible and adjust your, you know, thing as you move through life, as you make these big changes. If you move abroad, you have to be flexible so that you are not stressed out, right? And I just knew that this was more important for me that he really enjoyed what he was doing, as opposed to me trying to force him into a box. So that's really what happened in first grade. He ended up at Papalotes, which was uncertified school, not SEP, program, and SEP is like the education system in Mexico. It was a school kind of like a homeschool situation. They really believed in letting the children kind of like choose the things that they were interested in learning. And I just liked that freedom that was lifted off of not just him, but also myself, which was, you know what, let's just, meld into this new experience. Let's let's just get into this whole thing, and let's just hug that it's a change and it's for the positive, and we don't have to fit in anywhere exact. And so what did you do at Papalotes that was like your favorite things? I know you guys collected rocks, believe it or not. They learned about rocks and plants. So I thought it was kind of cool.
I'd say my favorite thing about Papalotes was, let me see, making a lot of fun experiments.
Yeah, that's true. You guys built stuff too, right?
Yeah, we made wooden items as well.
I used to call it the chicken coop school in a positive way. They had like, it was out in the country. It was beautiful, like the landscape, the scenery. So they got to see the most beautiful things every day. Even driving out there was lovely. It was just nature. It was almost like just being in nature. They had chickens. What other animals did they have out there in the Puebla?
Chickens, uh, donkeys.
Yeah. I think did they have horses? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
No.
They definitely had a lot of birds, though.
Did they have a piggy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's true. So, yeah, I wanted to say welcome to Alfonso. And sometimes be able to accept change. That's right. Hola, Jetta. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Just wanted to know when something is not working. Exactly. Agreed. So, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you all. Do you want to say
Yes.
something extra
Let me
about it?
think. Thank you all for coming on to my mom's channel.
Okay. So, the other experience is learning the language. You want to talk about that? Like, how did you feel about it initially? Like, how did you feel about that? Hi, Nadine.
Let me think. At first, I thought that it was very hard, but as I gradually went on, it got very easy, and then I just became very fluent in the language.
Do you want to tell us something in Spanish? You can introduce yourself in Spanish.
Mm.
Let's just say, I am Micah, and I
Hola,
live
soy
in.
Maika y casi soy 12.
¿Qué más?
y vivo en San Miguel de Allende.
Sí. Y,
Y gracias todos para entrar a la canal de mi mamá.
gracias. See, and what else do you like about living in San Miguel, like here in the mountains? Like, what are some of your favorite things to do?
I like to go swimming.
Hmm.
Uh, I like to hang out with my mom and with my dad when he comes, and there's a lot of fun things to do when I go hiking. I often get tired, but it is a very fun experience.
Okay, that's so cool. I want to say welcome to Nadine. Welcome, Chris and Jackie. Hi, hola. They have a channel also. You can find them at Chris and Jackie. Drop it in the chat if there's more to it to do a search. Yes. So, in regard to the language, I think that, whew, honestly, that's one of the key things that I think is going to be very useful, I hope, in his future. We are kind of moving into him learning another language, but it's just so much easier for children to learn it, as we very well know. People who have, like, that international lifestyle, maybe in Europe, and they're surrounded by so many different countries that speak different languages. I feel that in the United States, we're so insular that we don't always have the opportunity to learn another language unless maybe there's a parent or someone in the household that speaks it and is really intentional about us learning it. So one of the decisions for us in the past to move here was really, I wanted him to have the experiences that I had as an adult traveling. I wanted it to start at a young age. So here we are, right? I think that we are quite international, quite worldly. He got his passport when he was about 6 months old, right? He doesn't.
I don't know that.
Yeah. So he was in this like little car seat chair, his head cocked to the side, and we were trying to straighten his head so he could take a good photo, right? that way, just like that way. Anyway, the point is that his first international trip when you turned 1 was to Mexico. That was your first international trip. And, it was important that he had this exposure. So, in hopefully inspiring other parents and children, I say go for it. Don't be afraid. Even if you don't move abroad, we are here to support that as well. Travel with your kids, take the job opportunities abroad. If you have those, bring your children. I've spoken to several people that live here now that said, oh, I had an opportunity to take my kids to wherever, and they were like, oh, I didn't do it. I wish I had done it. And now their kids are grown and, with their own lives in the US. I think as they get older, they're going to become more accustomed to wherever they are. But being able to expose them at a younger age when it's kind of more your decision, I think it's just, it's invaluable. Like you really, honestly, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I feel like he's just like this replica of something I wish I was when I was a kid too. He's awesome. He's really awesome. He's so sweet. So tell us about some of your favorite trips and things that you've done around Mexico. And if there are any questions that you all have about, the kids' perspective from living here, please drop them in the chat. What are your favorite, what are some of the favorite things that you've done? You can even talk about things that are not in Mexico, because we've done a lot of traveling. What things do you love in Mexico and things that you love to do around
The
here?
waterfalls, the beaches. I like the mountains, the cities, the schools, the people. They're always willing to help you if they can at the time. And there's a lot of fun neighborhoods that you can go to.
Tell us about living in El Secreto, then we'll go back to some of the travel things.
I like living in El Secreto. I made a lot of friends, and they had like these pools, and I was always asking my mom if I could go in one of the pools.
That's true. So El Secreto is like a development, basically, townhouses and homes, all enclosed, all security. We lived there for 4 years, and it really taught me a lot about myself, a lot about Mexico and the culture. And as I always say, it is important to always be, aware of where you are, how you're living, but it's also important to drop the stereotypes. When I first moved here, I was very like concerned about his safety, my safety, like not necessarily from the standpoint of what most people think, kidnapping and cartels and all that, but I was just, I was concerned because I was in a foreign country, right? That's normal. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm here. I moved here with my kiddo, and like it was interesting because I had like a lot of initial anxiety about this experience, but living in El Secreto really taught me what community was all about, right? I mean, we had instant community, and I can tell you that's one of the things that people really love when they come to San Miguel. Is not hard to kind of get right in the mix, right? And I remember going there, and we made instant friends with our neighbor who had a daughter that was like really cool with you, right?
Yeah, she was
And
only about 2 months younger than me.
no, she's a year younger than you. Mia?
Yeah, Mia.
She's a year younger than you. She's not 2 months younger. Her birthday is 2 months behind you. It's in January, but it's actually up. Your dad has a question for you.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. 1 second. Just want to finish this thought. Something's like flying, trying to attack us. So really, it was really cool to be in this place because I felt that it was just what we needed at that time to help us really embrace this new experience. And I remember just feeling like kind of like a sigh of relief having people that were around me that felt like a part of the village experience. I had never really had that before. Living in Florida and the US, I mean, we're all very cautious, and that's good. That's not a bad thing. But the Mexican culture is definitely a little bit different, especially in the smaller towns where, people care about other people in general. It's not just like, oh, a transactional kind of relationship. It is really come hang out with me, come meet my family. Oh, we're having a meal, come and sit down. And it was just kind of like my eyes, like this veil was going up, and I just felt so like amazing. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt so warm about this. And I just knew that it was the right thing. I knew it was the right choice for us. I knew that I wanted him to feel the things that and experience a lot of the things that I experienced as a child, meaning, being able to go outside and play, not really stressing out so much about all these other things that we encounter sometimes when we're coming from back home. So, let's see, question. First, I want to say welcome to Moni. Welcome. Thank you. If you had the power to change something in Mexico or your neighborhood or life, what would it be? That's deep. I'm going to take a drink. What would you change?
So, for Mexico, so tell us about the amazing art and food in Mexico. We want to learn more about this from your lens.
Okay, so answer the first question. If you
Let's
had the
see.
power to change something in Mexico or the neighborhood or your life, what would it be?
This isn't Jeopardy. Let's see. Something that I could change. Let me see. I would have. Mm,
We are live.
I know we're live.
Okay, maybe we'll go back to that question.
No, we have to finish
Okay,
it.
answer it then.
If I had to change something about Mexico, I would change the, or no, if I could change something in my neighborhood, I would add a beach and a pool
Yes.
and more doggies.
Oh no, no more doggies. No.
Yes, more doggies.
No, we would
Yes,
have to buy
yes.
land and a farm.
Yes, we want more doggies.
No, not happening.
Yes. And about
what
the
else?
amazing art and food,
Mhm.
they have a lot of amazing art and murals in San Miguel and over Mexico as well. And for the food, there's a lot of yummy things.
Like what? Like what are some of the things you like to eat?
Quesadillas. Let me think.
Churros. He loves desserts, and they have really amazing bakeries here, like Paño City Market, as some of you who follow me already know. We love City Market. They have amazing desserts there as well. And what else?
Let me see. There's churros, quesadillas, chilaquiles. Or no, I haven't really had that.
Chilaquiles?
No.
That's not my favorite.
No.
No.
I would say my favorite restaurant. I don't have a favorite restaurant, but
Yeah. The favorite restaurant is here at our house.
So here at our house,
Yeah.
Soul Tribe and
Oh yeah. You like going there with your dad.
yeah.
Soul Tribe is a vegan restaurant, and Don Taco Tequila.
And Don Taco Tequila.
Yes, those are both vegan restaurants. So yeah, those are your favorites. So recently I wanted to add this as well. See, I told you, forgot about Don Taco Tequila.
Oh, wait, let me read this.
Go say you're a chef at heart. That's right, because Diane was just here and she was impressed with your skills and you are well-rounded and fit well. Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Diane recently came and stayed with us for about a week, and it just felt like, seriously, like she was here forever, right? So what?
Yes, Soul Tribe rocks.
It does. It does. So about the food, I wanted to make a comment about that. I think that so last week I decided to have one of my housekeepers come and work one extra day for me making food, right? Mostly because our experiences have been for these 6 years that the food can be a little hit or miss. I'm busy running around regularly, not just for Casa Elm, but also for Micah, my mom. And, I'm taking him to school and his activities after school, et cetera, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. So hang tight. So last week I had this like total epiphany, probably when I was on vacation, I think. And I said, what if I, added an extra day for one of the ladies. She knows how to cook. I've had her prepare like Mexican food and stuff for a few events in the past. And I said, even if she doesn't know how to make everything, I can kind of show her and save money, but also eat well, like eat things that are good. So this was her second time. We're doing it on Wednesdays. And today, can I tell you, amazing, right? What does she make? What's your favorite?
the mashed potatoes and some of it, and the salmon.
Yes, he loves mashed potatoes, and she made some mashed potatoes, sweet mashed potatoes with regular mashed potatoes. They're so good. And we made like a salmon stir fry, a veggie dish, a cucumber salad, Mexican rice, chile rellenos, which is it's poblano pepper with they like roast the skin, and then they put cheese inside, like a Oaxacan cheese inside, and then she puts it in like a deep dip, and then she cooks it in the pan. So we have so much food for the next few days, which saves me a lot of time, money, effort, and it tastes good. So I really found like the answer to eating well, but also being able to kind of, guide her through this, because she's kind of like, oh, I never made that before, I never made this before. And I said, it's okay, we can definitely, show you how to do things, because she already knows how to cook well. And I said, okay, think about the Mexican things, but just substitute the chicken for something else. So she was in the kitchen today cooking away. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So I just wanted to say that. And the food was really good. Micah couldn't wait to come home and eat, right? That's why he has those yummy cheeks.
Wait, what?
What?
Will someone explain to me what hashtag
Micah pool. That means you wanted a pool.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see what we missed. First week Christmas goes. Okay. I'm talking tequila. Micah, I vote for you to get a pool. Yes. Hi, Michelle from Ingenuity. So Michelle is our sponsor for all those amazing teas that are in our kitchen here at Casa Elm. Thank you. We enjoy, the guests enjoy. They are really, really, really good. We did a video testimonial. What's your favorite Ingenuity?
Harvest Moon.
Yes, delicious. So good. So check out her website. You can feel free to drop that in the chat if you are interested in ordering. She takes orders, and okay, here you go. You're so silly. Let's see. Yes, we'd love to hear about the school activities. Okay. And welcome, Rain. I like that name. Welcome. And welcome, Deborah. Chili rellenos. Yes, I love chili rellenos. And she did a really amazing job. 2 weeks in a row. And it's so nice because I could just grab it, warm it up really quick, and go, right? Because we have a lot of things that we're doing. Okay, so after school activities, tell us about robotics. How many years have you been doing that?
About 4. And when I first started, it was only like just normal motors and stuff. Like my favorite project from the first section was probably like this robotic dog, and it could like move and it could go in circles and all that stuff. For the next section that I had was like this yellow box, and it had like a core and stuff.
A what?
A core, like...
You gotta explain that to people. I don't know what you mean.
A core is practically like something that is used for the main part of the robot, and you can put programs on it, and you can put it like wherever you want in the robot and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But didn't you all do like a really cool one where it was mixing like lemonade or something? Remember that?
Yeah, that was in the first section. That's another one of the ones that I did. I did it with one of my friends who, and her name's Mia, and she was also taking the robotics class with me. Mm-hmm. And we made like these lemonade mixers, and we made lemonade with it, and it tasted very good.
So about the program, it's a Lego certified robotics class taught by teachers who are Lego teachers, right? Lego certified robotic teachers. He has been with this particular kind of a school now. They found a place. They used to come to our house. So during the pandemic, I connected with Marcy, and she used to bring her whole kit. So if you look on Amazon, I think, is it called Evo? Evo?
EV3.
EV3. There's like a whole kit. And if you find like the right connections, hold on, let me finish my thought. If you find like the right persons, they can kind of teach you how this works. It comes with like programming and all the pieces and motors and things like that. So we started with her, and this was 4 years ago. So I cannot believe we're like 4 years into this. And he goes there. That's one of the after school activities. What were you going to say?
About like the Lego sets that you can find, there's about 4 different ones. The first one is the blue Lego set. The second one is called Spike. The third one is called EV3. And the fourth one is called Lego Playtime.
Okay, so tell us about the school and all the experiences you've had, the competitions and your upcoming competition. Ding. Come on, don't freeze. Oh, I'm going to talk about it. Tell us about
You can talk about it.
No, tell us about last year's. Okay, Blue, tell us about the first year competition. What was your robot?
Okay. For the first year competition, me and my team did like this robot, and it was like a parade. One of my friends, who was also on my team, did like this robot that was producing air energy instead of using coal and polluting the lake. And the robot that I did, it was moving trees but without destroying them, and it would pick them out of the ground and it would move them to a different place. And they had like this track of cars, and like the cars would see what was happening and stuff. And in that year competition, my team, as in me and one of my friends, we got second place or third place,
Second place in the nationals.
and fifth place in the internationals.
Was it first?
No, it was fifth.
Oh, I thought it was first. Okay, I got that wrong. So that was 2 years ago. And the national competition was here in San Miguel, and it was a full day event, and it's all age ranges.
2 full days.
Oh, yeah, it was two. Yes, you gotta have a lot of patience because it took a long time. We were there all day sitting on bleacher chairs, but it was really good. I was very proud of them because they came in second place in the nationals, and then the international competition, they did that online because of the pandemic. And last year, they also, what was your robot supposed to do?
A sumo robot. It was like practically the sumo in Japan, where there's 2 big guys and they tried to push each other out of the circle. But for this one with robots, it's like there's a bottle in the middle. So say that this is the bottle and it's on a table, and there's 2 robots. And the first one to either push the robot off or the bottle off wins. So say that you push the robot off and you stay on the table for 2 seconds until your robot falls off, right? But then you both lose and you have to go again. But if you stay on the table for over 3 seconds, then you win.
Okay. So last year, they didn't have the same success, but next week, he's going to this year's competition, and it's actually going to be just outside of Mexico City, and it's a 2-day thing. Tell us about that robot. What's the purpose, or what are the 2 things? You have a full day on Friday, which is what is it called, the unknown challenge?
Yeah, so like for the first challenge that we're doing, it's gonna be like this unknown challenge where we have to bring our own Lego set, and they give us like a challenge, not knowing what it is. and we have to like build a robot in a set amount of time to compete in the challenge. And if we don't build the robot correctly or in the set amount of time, then we're disqualified. And
That's not gonna happen, right?
yeah, it's not.
Okay.
And for the, what's it called? In the sumo robot, we have this robot and the program does work this time.
Okay.
And we also added like this extra program, and it's like it goes up the ramp, but you start backwards. So it's like this, say that this is the robot, this is the front. It's starting backwards, so it turns in a 80 or 180 degree angle, or yeah, and it goes up the ramp, but it still does the same program once it's up the ramp.
Okay. So just to clarify, and you can jump in at any point in time, the robot building aspect is not just the Legos, like he actually has to code it and program it as
But
well.
only if I need to.
Well, right, but your actual robot competition the day after. So the competition and the class and the robotics itself is not just playing with Legos. Like they literally have to go in and they have to code and they have to program and they have to get it to work. They have to get the sensors to work and things like this. So I want to share this with anyone who has children. Like this program, I think is so phenomenal for them. The school, the work that Marcy and her brother Rodrigo do is amazing. He goes there 2 days a week. You know, and now that it's competition time, we're going a little more often. Like this Friday, they're going to basically have all of the children that are participating in the competition kind of present, I think, right? Present their work.
I think so.
It's also affordable because we did a half month or full month program years ago in Florida. And I don't remember how many hours you went, but it was just like maybe 2 weeks. And he was so excited about it. He loved it. And since then, I was just like, oh my God, we have to find another program. And I got lucky. Hold on. I got lucky with getting connected with Marcy. She actually used to live in Mexico City. And a friend of mine told me about her. And she literally, Micah was her first student, and she would come to our house during the pandemic, and she would basically bring her kit. She has like the first class, or the first level is like 24 classes, excuse me. And she's since gotten an actual space, like a school, and they have a bunch of children, girls go, boys go, all different age ranges, and I think it's just phenomenal, and it's affordable. So I really highly recommend that if you decide to move to San Miguel, and that's something your child is interested in. What did you want to say?
So like, what was it?
I don't know where you wanted to. I don't know where you wanted to jump in.
But it was like for the robotics in Florida, when I was doing robotics, instead of starting from like the first set without all the programming and stuff, we were just doing the last set immediately. So like
That's
the
true.
EV3, and we were also creating that Chrome game.
I don't remember the Chrome game. What's that?
Like the game where you jump.
Oh yeah.
When you don't have internet and you go to like Chrome or Google or something, and it lets you play like that game. We were also programming that game while I was in a team. If you came early, then you could program games like that.
Okay, so that's a lot about robotics, but clearly it's one of the things that he really enjoys. I'm really hoping that this leads to something amazing in the future. I'm pretty sure it will. I've been encouraging him to, just think about the things that he enjoys doing. And surprising enough, like in Mexico, there are a lot of outlets that you can find for children that you may not think exist here, whether it's art, dance, robotics, martial arts, right? Because Mia is now officially a black belt, and she's a year younger than him, right? She's been doing this for a few years, even
Yeah.
Taekwondo, right? Micah was taking Taekwondo classes as far as after school activities. When we first came here, he was doing art classes, right?
Yeah.
What else have you done?
I've done martial arts,
Taekwondo, robotics, art,
robotics, sport,
swimming,
swimming. Let's see.
playing. Camps, they have a lot of camps.
I've been camping and other stuff, right?
Yeah, and other stuff. In regard to like what's available, I think that the best ways to kind of discover that is to get on Facebook. For those who may not like Facebook, who may not like social media, I have to just tell you that this is the easiest and probably one of the most fulfilling places to get information, right? There's even I think it's called San Miguel Mamas page where you can join and just ask questions about what there is to do. There are a lot of groups that homeschool as well. Like before I moved here, if you've never heard of this, because I was having a consultation with someone last week, and she's kind of coming from the same angle that I was coming from when I first moved here, which is, this is how we see education, this is how we view it, but there's so many ways to educate your child. And I think it's okay to customize how it works best for your child. Let's get away from just sticking them in a box, right? Let's get into what do they like to do? What are they interested in? Is school, set up in the traditional sense? Is that right for my child? You have to question that system. You really do. And the point I want to say about it is that during the pandemic, I think it taught a lot of us how to be creative in educating our kids, right? It wasn't working for him online. So I found a teacher, and his levels in math and all these things, he went there 3 days a week, 15 hours a week, and it was adequate. It was actually great. He's so much above his level right now. He's in what level of math are you in?
Advanced math, so practically in 8th grade math, but I'm in 7th grade.
Right, technically 6, but doing 8th grade.
6th and 7th.
6th and 7th doing 8th grade math. So it was definitely well worth being flexible. And just, I think it's important for us to see that. So what I wanted to say earlier about learning about the different options that are available, right? I didn't know about homeschool per se in the sense of the groups that do it here. Like, what does that mean? To me, homeschool just meant I'm the teacher, and that didn't interest me. But there are people who unschool, world school, travel around and do different things. There are people who are just kind of like, my child is interested in this, and I'm going to put them in those types of classes. I'm going to find programs online, and I'm not going to necessarily put them in a traditional school setting. My point is that moving here opened up my thought process in regard to how my child learns, and I stopped being so conditioned to thinking like this is the way, this is the only way, right? I got to be in the right zip code, and I got to find the right schools as A plus and B plus and whatever. But what works for him, right? What are the things that he loves to do, and moving down that path a little bit more. And yeah, so I think with the school thing, it's been a journey. I think it's been a journey. I don't know about you. Let's see what people are saying here. Hey, our family exodus. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Rain again. Hey, Cheryl. How are you? Good to see you too. If you all have questions about the school stuff, please do let us know. What else can we talk about? Tell me about some of your favorite. Oh, wait, we're traveling right now to travel school. See, it is so liberating, right?
What's travel school?
Just like travel, like you're learning by moving around the world. That's what I'm getting from that, right? Those are our intentions. Like we're thinking about next school year, he has to work for it, to take a few months and hit the road, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us some of the places in Mexico that you have traveled to that you really, really loved. What were your favorite things?
I agree with you, Diane.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you think I'm doing a good job?
Yes.
Fist pump.
So there's some of my favorite places to travel.
Or that you've been to in Mexico.
And so one of them is going to be Zacatecas. Another one is Zihuatanejo.
Okay. Why do you like Zihuatanejo? Just asking.
The beaches.
Yes. My Pisces likes to swim.
And another one would be Puerto Vallarta.
Why
Uh,
do you like to swim?
no, not because I like to swim, but because since I've only been there once and it was really nice. I've been there twice. When was the first time?
When we went with Mia and Pau, we went to Nueve Vallarta. That's when you had your boogie board, and we went with her and
No, I mean Puerto Vallarta, not
right next door, same place. We
yeah,
flew into
but
the
that's
same
not the
airport.
same place.
Technically, it is. Okay, go ahead.
But my other place is gonna be San Luis Potosí.
What did you like there?
Waterfalls.
Yes.
I love to jump off the waterfalls, even though I was very terrified at first.
You were, and then I couldn't get him off. We had a guide, right?
Yeah, like you or the guide showed me, and then I was still very terrified, and I got to the point where I could just jump or fall off, and I would be in the water below, but I was still too terrified, but eventually I jumped off since I didn't want to be stuck there.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
I don't think I went, I think I did it once. Yeah, we jumped off together, and then I swam to the dock or the pier, and then I got out of the water, and then he kept going with our guide and constantly jumping off. It was fun. It was fun. It was a little cold, but it was fun.
One thing that I want to say. So at the same place, or maybe it's better if I don't say it.
Okay, then let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
So anyway, he had a great time. This was in San Luis Potosí. We went to Xilitla, right? Sir Edward James Surreal Garden, which is an outdoor place. It's magnificent. We wanted to go to Tamul, but it wasn't the right time of the year to do that. It's like waterfalls, but you can canoe down the waterfalls. But because it was raining season, it wasn't safe for us to do that. So we just kind of, our tour got a little bit changed around, which was great, right? We enjoyed that. We drove there from here. I think it was like 6 hours. That's also in central Mexico. Xilitla, Sir Edward James Garden is a beautiful place. Like, look it up. It's interesting because it's visited often, but I think it's kind of more well known in Mexico. So you'll see like a lot of nationals there, and it's great. It's really a great day thing to do. And where else? Zacatecas. You mentioned Zacatecas. It's a
Yeah.
city. It's a pretty big city. We drove there as well from San Miguel a few summers ago. And what did you like the most about Zacatecas? I thought it was amazing there. Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Super chat. Thank
Yay.
you. Appreciate you.
Let me see. Another.
What did you like most about Zacatecas? I like the prices. What did you like?
The
Cable-
beach.
No, there's no beach. It's a city.
Yeah.
No, there's no beach, honey. It's in the center. Not Zihuatanejo, Zacatecas. Remember we
I know
went on the cable?
Zacatecas.
Okay, there's no beach there.
What do you mean? But another place is one of your favorite places.
Where?
Pinal de Amoles.
My heart just went. Bup, bup. Bup, bup, bup. Okay, so let's talk about Zacatecas. Zacatecas is also north. I believe it's north of San Miguel by 4 hours. It's also in central Mexico. Look it up. It's a beautiful city. It just looks very European, but it's definitely not. Okay, it's not at all expat heavy. It is really a true Mexican kind of experience. They did not understand my language, my Espanol. I remember just being grateful that my friend Pau was with us. She's Mexican. And anyway, it was really an amazing city. They had cable cars that take you across the city. It's where one of the famous battles for independence was fought in Mexico. And also, it was just a experience that I didn't expect to have. The prices were a lot less, and we just had fun. You know, we were there for a weekend, maybe a long weekend. So I really enjoyed that city. I highly recommend visiting if you're ever in Mexico and you just kind of want to get away from kind of what's expected. Like I love San Miguel. I think it's amazing. But I also really enjoy going to other parts of Mexico where it's like off the beaten trail, and I get there and I'm blown away because I think living in the US and then coming here, being immersed in kind of like, the Mexico City culture and life, immersed into Querétaro because it's close to us. It's like, oh, they have Costco's, they have all the stores that I'm used to. They have places for my kid to play. We're going to talk about that too. But going to other places where I don't know what to expect and just being like wowed, it's just a beautiful thing, from the culture, the traditions, the way the cities are set up, the entertainment, how beautiful they are, how clean they are, how safe they are. So I just wanted to express that a little bit more.
I want to say something.
Go for it.
It's something about San Miguel that my dad just mentioned. One of your favorite places in San Miguel. La Gruta.
Everybody knows I love La Gruta. So La Gruta is the local hot springs. It's my jam. So I want to say this, interject a little ad about Casa Elm. So we have our spring sabbatical coming for the whole month of March. I believe we're sold out. And one of the things that we're doing during that month is taking 2 trips to La Gruta with the ladies that will be here. It's a local hot springs and it is really beautiful. I love to go early in the morning. For those who know me, 6:45. I'm there at 7 waiting for them to open the doors. I know.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
So basically, I absolutely enjoy this experience. I like to go when it's not busy. I like to go when it's cold outside. I love to go when there's nobody else there because it is, for me, it's quite spiritual. It's healing, and I can just soak in those hot water springs. So my next thing I want to do and pray to God we can get there this year is to go to Tolantongo, which is 4 hours away from here, and it's in Hidalgo, I believe, the state of Hidalgo.
Bring some snacks when we go.
We're actually thinking about camping, right? I'm tempted to buy a tent and sleeping bags and just go camping. Anyway, back on topic is going to Tolantongo, which is the hot springs, and it's the same concept, but it's an actual hot springs on the side of the mountain, and then there's like an actual river of hot water. Like, you have no idea how much I love hot water. Like, I want to travel around the world and just visit hot springs. That's how much I love hot water. Okay. So, yes, Francis, hi. How are you, my dear? The hot springs are amazing. Yes, she will be here in May. Another repeat client. Actually, Francis was one of my first people to come and bless this house with her presence 2+ years ago. I can't believe it. Time is like this, right? So fast. But anyway, there, like I said, there are so many amazing places. Another favorite place of mine, which Micah mentioned, also blew my socks off, was last year when we went to Pinal de Amoles, and that was only 3 hours away in Querétaro, and we drove there. I was a little scared, but we made it.
I was terrified.
Yeah, I'm quite adventurous, but sometimes I don't always have a grand plan. I'm just kind of like, oh, look at these pictures. How far is it? How do I get there? I map it out, and then I pack a bag, and I'm like, let's go.
Bye. Bye, San Miguel. We'll be back in a few days.
Correct. So in this particular case, I saw a photo of Cuatro de Palos. Is that what it's called? Or Cuatro de Palos de, no, it is Cuatro de Palos. And I was just like, where is this? I didn't know that this was in Querétaro, which is the next state over from where we live, right?
Guanajuato.
Right, we live in the state of
Guanajuato.
That's my little Spaniard, my little Mexicano. We live in the state of Guanajuato, and Querétaro is the next state over. It's also the airport, one of the airports you can fly into. And when I saw the photo, I said, oh, where's this, in Querétaro, really? So I mapped it out, I looked it up, and then I got us an Airbnb, and we just hit the road. I had no idea that we were going to be driving through the Sierra Gorda mountains. So in San Miguel, when you're kind of like up high, you'll see, they call it the Sierra Madres in the background, right? You'll see all like the mountainscape, basically. So we're driving, and we go through Bernal, which has a monolith, and that's also called Pinal de Bernal. Pinal de Bernal. We passed by Bernal, which I've been to a few times. That's about an hour and a half away. And we're just like getting closer, and the mountains are getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm like, oh, we're driving through the mountains, right? And I was a little scared because it's like very windy. I mean, it's very safe. And the roads are actually paved really, really well, but it was just the whole, the visuals, and it's just like so vast. So the point of all of that is that we made it to this little town, checked into our Airbnb, right, which was cool. It was a lodge kind of in the mountains, and with a really beautiful view. It was kind of rainy, very humid, and beautiful. It was just beautiful. Very small town, green. And then I found a place that was like a tourist kind of like place where they can take you on a day tour. And they said, oh, we'll pick you up tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. And these are like, they showed us the photos, and I said, yeah, that's the one place that I want to definitely see. And it was very affordable. I think we were like 60-ish bucks per person or something like that. But this was a full day tour. It was like 4:30 a.m. until about 4 p.m. And they picked us up. They brought us to this point or space, and they parked the car. And we're in the dark, and the guy had like the hiking sticks, and we're hiking up like for about what, 20, 30 minutes? I don't remember.
About 30 minutes.
And we got to the top. I thought I was in heaven. Oh, so beautiful. I did a video about this. I hope you can find it on my channel, but it was just so magnificent. Definitely was one of my most breathtaking moments that I've had in my entire life. And that's saying a lot because I've been to some pretty cool places and I want to go back. But I want to bring other people. So if anyone's interested in going, let me know. We'll plan it. We'll just, whoever fits in my car, we'll just go. And make sure you know how to, hike uphill, because it is way up. It's like 10,000 feet above sea level, but it's magnificent.
15,000.
No, I think it was 9 to 10,000 feet.
It said 15,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you get a little bit, thin air. And you get to see the sunrise. It was just magnificent, and it was freezing in June.
I want to say something.
Sure, sorry, I'm talking away. Go for it.
So about going to Pinal de Amores, once we stopped at like this gem place, and I got something for my dad from there, and it was like made out of obsidian, right?
I think so, yeah.
And it was on like this ledge, and it was very cool, and you could see a lot from the ledge, and the store was nice.
It was vast. It was like it wasn't really a store. It was like a shack on the side of the road with souvenirs and rocks and crystals and things like that. Yeah, you said driving through Grapevine in LA. I don't know. I've never been there. It's probably more, yeah, look it up. Sierra Gorda, right?
Pinal de Amores.
Yes, it is something. That's all I can say. And yes, Dixie, anyone that can hike up a mountain and hang for 12 hours, because we hiked all day. We went to 3 other additional places with waterfalls. The final was what they call, how do you say the pool of the gods in Spanish? I forget.
Alberca de los dioses, or la piscina. Puente is like valley. Oh wait, it was Valley of the Gods.
No, it was waterfalls of Puente de Dios.
Puente de los dioses then.
Yeah. So we went there, and the water was so pure. They were like, you can drink it, but it was really, really cold. It was just beautiful. Go ahead.
No, nothing.
No. So the whole experience was just absolutely beautiful. One of our other favorite trips was to Barrancas de Cobra.
Oh,
Train ride.
Where was ours? Yeah.
The train ride.
Yeah, I remember it. El Chepe.
That's right. El Chepe. So that was actually in the state of Chihuahua. So it took us about 20 plus hours by 2 bus rides to get there. But it was beautiful. The bus ride, everything, because I didn't want to drive. It was kind of last minute for us to fly because I planned the actual train ride, which I'll explain shortly. And I've talked about this before, but I'm just telling you these things because to me, they are just so like magnificent for children, especially adults and children to experience, but they were breathtaking experiences. They weren't just, like, oh, I went to an amusement park. Nothing wrong with that. But this is like natural beauty that's like vast, and it's just like, wow, like God's creation. And my intention was we were going to basically take the train through Copper Canyon, which is in Mexico. It's in the state of Chihuahua, which is northern Mexico. And my friend also told us about this train ride a few years ago. And not this past December, the one before, I said, okay, this is what we're going to do for Christmas, right? We're going to take the train. So the train leaves from Creole, Chihuahua, which is kind of like a little western town, and it
Very
brings,
cold.
yeah, December was real cold. It was even colder than here, right? We had like all winter gear down.
And I was
Frost.
still cold.
Yeah, we were cold. But the train ride leaves from here, and well, it leaves from Creole and it goes to Los Mochis, and from there it leaves from Los Mochis and it goes back to Creole, and basically it was just so magnificent. The train ride itself is 9 hours if you do it in a day. You can stop along the way. You don't have to, but you can kind of stop along the way. But we also got to see Copper Canyon, and the only way to really fully see Copper Canyon is to take this train. It's called El Chepe. You can look it up online. They have 3 classes. They have economy class, they have executive class, which we flew, I was gonna say flew in. We took the train ride in, and then they also have first class. And the first class has like a sky dome, so it's all open and you can see more. So it's definitely worth it. If you want to fly, you can fly up there as well. I highly recommend either busing it or flying. The bus ride was magnificent. It's long, but we got to see so much of Mexico. So sharing that. One of my favorites. What happens in 6 days on the planet?
And it's right there on his desk.
Right. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
And it's right here. Okay. No idea.
What is it?
Text us about that. Oh, maybe is it your birthday? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Micah's birthday is coming.
It's in 5 days.
Is it 5 days?
Yeah.
Oh, let's count one.
Oh, wait, no, it is.
6 days.
Wait, my birthday's on your desk?
I don't know what that is, but Micah's birthday is happening.
Piscina?
De los dioses. I have no idea. We're talking in code now.
Wait, what do you mean?
Sorry, we're a little lost.
What do you mean, Valley of the Gods, and it's right there on your desk?
I don't know. So basically, our life, for me, I feel is very full in San Miguel. And I want to talk a little bit about the school that you're in right now. The school that he goes to is called Victoria Robbins. It is a school that starts at 5th grade up to high school, so your child can graduate if that's your intention. A lot of people have asked me about like, what is it like for children to graduate here in Mexico and then maybe apply to go back to a school in the United States for like a college. From my research and speaking to other parents with kids that are older, it seems like it's not really like too much of a struggle for them to get accepted into colleges. It sounds too as if a lot of the children that graduated from this particular school, which has been in existence for over 30 years, the principal of the school, I think she taught in the US at some point, and she's been living here for a really long time. And it's one of the schools that I think is a little more desirable in terms of just kind of allowing the children to get a very broad education, but also still allows a lot of creative freedom. So I don't know how you feel about VIX.
I feel happy at VIX, and
Go ahead.
And that I feel happy at VIX in that they are very interesting, and there's a lot of nice people there, and I like the classes.
Okay. So he's been going there for about a year and a half-ish or so. I think it works for now. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it goes past high school.
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
I told you multiple times.
Okay.
And you didn't believe me.
Oh.
But you have to look at it in the school.
They do a
true.
lot of fun things throughout the school year. They do like theater productions. They recently had a Valentine's Day dance, and they did like a picnic at a water park last year. So that it's, you know, your typical school. The classroom is not excessively large. I mean, there are how many students in your classroom?
14.
Yeah, 14. They have teachers in different subjects. They teach Spanish. They have math, mythology, English. What else?
Science.
Okay. Anything else?
And Spanish.
And on Fridays, it's kind of a, not to say a free day. On Fridays, they play games or they have electives, right? It's probably more of an elective. What are your chosen electives? What do you do on Fridays?
So we're restarting this soon, but currently I am doing what's it called? Chess. And what's it called? Movies now.
Oh, okay. New to me too. I'm learning about this.
No,
So,
it's on my desk.
So, you know, those are the cool things that he gets to experience. You know, as one of the things I said earlier is really understanding what is involved in moving and living abroad. He's fully fluent. I know he's not speaking in Spanish because most of my audience wouldn't understand him, but he's fully fluent in Spanish. He has access to other languages here. Probably going to be taking French.
I'm learning French and Japanese right now.
Yes, do it, right?
Konnichiwa.
Yes, exactly. And what do you know in French? Do you know anything?
Yes.
What? Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
I don't want to talk about
Anything
it.
you want to say as we log off soon in Spanish? If anyone has questions, feel free. Don't forget to like this video, please. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's been really a pleasure kind of like sharing. If you have questions, feel free to send us an email. You can reach me at info@casaelm.com. info@casaelm.com. If you have questions about our guest house and our guest house experiences, you can go to casaelm.com, www.casaelm.com. We are here to help this process of living, moving abroad, the idea, the concept come to life for you, or to help it become smoother. I help you through consultations. And if you want to come in person and experience one of our tours, you know, hi Carol, how are you? Welcome. Feel free to do that. You can also watch this on the replay. And just kind of like I said, you know, for me, it's definitely been one of the best decisions that, you know, I think we could have made in terms of a life-changing lifestyle, you know, for him, kind of getting away from being put in a box, getting away from some of the challenges that we face as brown and black people in the United States. One of the concerns I had was him, you know, being a brown child in South Florida or in the US in general. So I'm very, very grateful to be able to live here and have the opportunity to raise him elsewhere. Is everything perfect in Mexico? No, it's not. But it's damn near close, right?
Yes.
So, you know, this is our life. I'm happy that you came on and shared, and you were comfortable talking to the guest, huh? Forcefully. I begged you. I was like, please.
You didn't beg me. You already had it set up.
I did have it set up, but I was like, please, you know, cooperate. So you did a great job, and thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you talking to the camera. Okay, and I'm sure the audience appreciates you. So if there are any parents out there contemplating this move and for your child or older children, please do so. Please Um, if you even just want to try it temporarily for 6 months, honestly, it's so worth it. And there's just so many benefits to travel. You can learn so much more than being in a classroom. Nothing wrong with being in a boring classroom. Thank you to all the wonderful teachers out there. But at the same time, I really think that if life allows you to explore, jump on the bandwagon and do it and take your kids with you. Um, yeah, it's the lesson you can't receive in any other way, right? Yeah. So I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button.
Yes.
And also look out for Micah's upcoming things. I'm going to talk about those at a later date, right? Look.
Yay.
Oh yeah, yes, he has grown a lot.
Also, Dad, I'll be texting you about what's happening in 6 days after this. I will.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your
Yeah,
birthday.
but it says it's on his desk.
All right, we'll talk about that later. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Bye, everyone.
Appreciate you. Ciao, ciao. I gotta wait for the what happened? You're not in this frame. Oh, because it's over here. There we go.